Back by popular demand. This is the Blue Army podcast.
It's good to be back.
It is, just the circumstances could be a little bit better.
Yeah, it's not good to be back in terms of the result. But we should have done this after Bamber Bridge, really, shouldn't we? But,
we should, but with some people absent.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll do it today.
Yeah, it's been a very difficult season so far. Currently see us sitting with 8 points, third bottom in the table. Not where anyone would have expected us to have been in August.
Well, no, we've said this nearly every week. Gainsborough on paper, and I know football's not all on paper, they've got a very good squad. They've got some brilliant players for this level, especially, and it's come as a real surprise. Yes, they have had some difficult fixtures, but like last season, when they had a good start to the season, they were competing with the teams up there at the top and getting points off them. This season's just been disappointing. I think they haven't had much luck, but you can't use that as an excuse. And
sometimes disappointing seems a bit of a weak word to use.
Well, it's frustrating. There's another one.
Yeah.
Bad. That's another one.
Yeah.
I mean, today, we
had a 15-minute patch today, just after half time.
Yeah, I didn't think Gainsborough played that well today, but could have easily got a draw.
Yeah.
Could have easily won. The chances in the second half, I think Stainer has a couple of headers from corners, which you'd expect him to do better. Ross Hannah, who did really well to intercept the two back passes.
Yeah.
I think the first one, the goalie does well, to be fair.
Yeah, he stood up both times he stood up really well.
But the second one, I think Ross was in two minds what to do, but they were good chances. And then, obviously, the penalty, there's three really good chances. You win the game 3-2. So, although, Gainsborough, like you said, they had a patch and they could have got something from the game today. And I suppose you always try and be positive. It gets hard, especially when you're in the relegation zone and you've just lost to a team below you. But the positives are that they created enough today without their leading goal scorer as well to have won the game.
And without the big target man as well. Gavin Allett obviously not being here today as well. So
it's been annoying this season because
it's been no stop start.
Gav Allett and Ash Worsfold have not played together enough, and that was pre-season. That was the partnership we were looking forward to seeing.
Yeah.
So one reason or another, I know Allett's had a couple of injuries, and then Ash obviously with his suspension. It's been a shame, and hopefully we'll get to see that on Tuesday if they're both available.
Yeah, both will be fit and firing, having not played this afternoon.
But saying that, again, I always like to look at two things. Balance it. Curtis Morrison got man of the match today, and I agree with that. I thought, I was saying up here to the crowd around me, he was the only one that looked like scoring. I know Ross had Hannah had the chances, but I thought he was excellent today, and I like him up front. I think for me, I've seen most games this season. The best attacking display I've seen was away at Banbury when Ash and Curtis played up front together,
working together in tandem.
And I thought they were excellent in both. They played both games, didn't they? The replay as well.
Yeah.
I thought they were excellent and a real threat, and that's the best I've seen Trinity attack this season.
I've previously been a little bit disappointed with his play back to goal, but he had that sort of link play today that came into its fore a little bit more today.
I think the big question with Curtis, you're about Curtis Morrison, aren't you? I think the big question about him is he better up front or on the wing? Because I think some
of his good work was in wide areas, but it was the starting position of where he was getting the ball, dropping off 10 yards off the centre half, being able to spin in left and right, put a few good balls into the box, but he created that space by playing in a central role.
So I think up front he's in the game more, whereas on the wing I think he's more effective but not in the game as much. It's very stop-start when he's on the wing.
Yeah, and
so overall I'd rather see him up front.
On the ball.
And like you say, when he's up front he also drifts out wide and gets involved like he did today. Now I think, if we're looking at positives today, and I'll be honest, there isn't that many, that is certainly one, his performance.
Yeah, I was surprised we didn't see a little bit more of Myron Gibbons coming off the bench. Looked a little bit lively when he came on, but didn't really have enough time to make an impact.
Yeah, that was the moan from the gang around me up here in the press area.
Tony.
Tony,
he's gone home now.
There you go. He actually said we can call him Mr. Happy. He's told me that today.
Not until that's in writing will I.
Well, that's fine by you. I'm not scared of him, but much. No, not just him. There's a few, there's the crowd and quite a few around us. The general murmur was why he didn't come on earlier, why Brandon Horton didn't come earlier, and I think Brodie Litchfield was the first sub. But the three changes he made were what I think we all wanted, but maybe been a little bit earlier. I mean, he's a little bit unlucky that he gets Myron Gibbons ready and they go and score the second goal while he stood there waiting to come
that's
on.
one of the things. He's looking to be proactive. He's looking to make an attacking change to bolster what we're doing. But as he comes on, the game's almost dead. That's
Yeah, and at 2-0, let's be fair, especially with 20 minutes to go.
Luck, don't you?
Yeah, I mean the 2 goals today. Now the first penalty, we had different views of it. For a start, we have disagreed which player fouled to start with.
Yeah,
I thought it was Nathan Hart. You thought it was
over on my side.
Sam Topless. You had the better view.
Of Carlisle Street.
We'll go with your thoughts on that one.
But then we dissect whether it was a foul or not.
Who was it? Was it Topless?
It was Topless on my side. Referee's not in a very good position. He's run round, craning his neck round to one side, and he's seen the player go to ground. I thought Pete was very good for wing back for.
Yeah, he was a threat, wasn't he? All game
for Atherton.
Yep.
We really linked up. And he was imposing his game on Sam Topless rather than Sam Topless imposing his game going forward.
I agree.
And I think he came out really well in terms of that 1v1 battle. And he's played the ball in, he's continued his run, and because coming together it's difficult, but it's been given. We can't really debate that much further than that, really.
So that you had the view of the first one, I probably had a better view of the second one, which was just a ridiculous decision. Yeah. He's far too close to Nathan Hart. Nathan Hart's got his hand down by his side. I can't believe he gave it, to be honest. But then I think, who was it that said it to us? Who said he probably had to give their Trinity's penalty?
That was Liam, wasn't it?
Was that Liam?
In his post-match.
Yeah. And again, I agree with that because I thought that was soft as well. So the only one that I thought maybe was
going back to Curtis Morrison again, but he's got
did really well. But
he's got his body in there, and he's been
the only
flattered.
But I thought it was soft. The only one I thought really had a chance of being one from my angle was the first one, but you had a much better view of that than I did. And then saying that George has done well to save his penalty.
Yeah.
Ross Hanna's
the keeper sent him the wrong way, hasn't he, on the first one, and then he's almost bottled it a little bit by going straight down the middle.
Yeah, and
George's trailing leg.
What really George does well there, I've seen him save a few penalties over the last 3 or 4 years, and even though you commit one way, you still make yourself look big, so that if it does go down the middle, you've got a leg trail, and then it might hit, and that's what it did. So it's a really good save. Good save. Ross's penalty, he gets it.
He's put it in the corner.
It's a good save. He hits it harder, it goes in. I think he's gone for place, but I'm not a big penalty taker, but it is a good save.
Side, though, haven't you?
No, one, I think. One. I think that's all it was. Well, you're literally on the goal line when you take them.
Yeah.
And I used to not want to get hit by the ball, even though I was a goalkeeper.
The goalkeeper that didn't want to get. Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
Yeah, but Brodie Litchfield following in really good. But
the second save was brilliant. I have to say, from the goalkeeper.
It's a really good double save, and to be honest, my non-league paper report that I sent in, I've given the man of the match to their goalkeeper. It's 1-0. It's 1-0 at the time.
It was crucial. Crucial.
Goals change games.
If Gainsborough come back to win 2-1, I imagine you'd have given it to George Willis for the same reason.
Yes. Game-changing saves.
Yeah. It was good. The second save was a lot better. I thought it was just brilliant. And he's done well, and he did well, to be fair, with the back pass, especially the first one, because he was struggling on his feet, wasn't he, the keeper? He still managed.
It was just the way he stood up, and he didn't commit.
Yeah.
And he put the onus back on Ross to make a decision.
And it was a save, and it was a good save.
But that's talking about the chances that we've had at both ends. Chasing the game with 12 to go, they've gone down the other end and scored. In a way, both full-backs getting caught out of position a little bit.
Yeah, it's a bad goal. It's a breakaway goal. I think was Topless aware of him behind him, or like you say, probably a little bit.
Has he just switched off a little bit?
Maybe, I don't know.
But
the finish
both full-backs have been taken off. Seconds of it.
Well,
I think that speaks volumes, doesn't it?
The finish was good because it wrong foots Willis. Very good finish, and he can't have seen it till the last second either because it goes over Sam Topless's head.
But I was impressed with a lot of Atherton's forward play. They did seem to get the ball out wide.
Excuse me, they came for the win, which surprised me. When teams are down at the bottom, a point away is always seen as a good, but they deserve their lead, even though it's only 3 minutes in.
I think they deserve a lot of credit for that, though.
Yeah, I think that might have surprised Gainsborough. It surprised me, and they deserve to win.
Yeah, they started off on the front foot, didn't they, and just asked for questions from very early on.
Yeah, interesting that Gainsborough went back to the 5 today at the back.
Yeah, but then going forward, we created a lot when we went to the 4. Well, I'll say 4.
Was it 4 at Baseford last week? I think it was, wasn't it?
4 at Baseford, yeah. Joe Maguire on the bench.
And it was 4 against Bamber, and they'd been creating things going forward, but then at the other end, you're not quite as solid, so you can see why, in a way, he went for 5 at the back, but didn't work today. But then earlier in the season, when they were having good performances, and we were talking about that, look, they played 5 every game.
Yeah.
And it was working.
Yeah, it's almost like that change that we're seeing at the moment. The chopping and changing. We're not getting the continuity that we need.
I think if every player was available, and I know it's an old excuse, but if every player was available, then I think he'd have been 4 today. I think you'd have had 4-4-2. But it's replacing injuries, and we had
shuffling players around.
Kieran Brennan was a big loss today. He's been outstanding since he came in. Ash Worsfold's always a loss.
I think he picked up a hamstring injury in the base
last week, wasn't it? Yeah.
So but yeah,
that's the game.
But obviously, we spoke to Liam King after the game.
Well, probably the most, for want of a better word, interesting part of today was post-match. Both Liam King and George Willis, both very honest. Liam King's always been honest from day one. Yeah. And I was going to say, really, but I'm quite sad today. I was saying to you, wasn't I? It's quite a sad feel about the place, because before the game, I thought the atmosphere was lovely. The photo for the
breast cancer
awareness was brilliant. You had fans and players mingling together. Yeah. Everybody had a smile
you really got
on their
that
face.
in it together feel.
It was lovely. It was a really nice atmosphere. It was really good, and I loved watching it. And it was just, and you were taking lots of pictures with the frame that Richard Kane had made up, which looks brilliant. And the initiative.
It was really positive, wasn't it?
But it was really good, and the initiative.
I even said before the game, I've got a good feeling about today.
I thought they'd win today.
I didn't know what that feeling was, but it felt positive, and there was a bit of a sense of excitement about the place.
I get called negative all the time on the radio, and they were even surprised when I said I thought Gainsborough would win today. I thought they would. Just going back to that, the breast cancer thing, I think that's a brilliant initiative. Yeah. I think it's something that other clubs will probably end up doing. Yeah. I think it's fantastic. Richard Kane, it's good. It's a good idea. Really good. And the kit was really good. I liked it. Did you? Yeah. Really, really smart. And
a lot of the comments around the ground, they couldn't believe how good it looked.
Yeah. But I remember saying the same pre-season as well. The colours, you wouldn't think they'd work, and yet the kit was really good. They really good kit designs, Gainsborough. Sorry, just drifting there. I just wanted to mention,
well done, Sally.
Brilliant, really good
design.
So off the pitch, things are looking really good, and in that respect, you just need things to change. And so back to what we were saying about Liam, he's come out. He's been very honest.
What was his phrase that he said? That whatever happens will be in the best interest of Gainsborough Trinity.
This is what I've said to you. I've said on the radio, and we'll say it now. Is the bit there's 2 things from that interview which have you put it on yet?
Yep.
Yeah, that are online now. That stood out. One was the question about will he be in charge on Tuesday, and he said that's up to the chair. You'd have to ask the chairman, so we don't know. The other one was what he kept saying. He said 2 or 3 times, whatever happens needs to be in the best interest of the club, and I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I really
whether
do.
It's him.
Exactly. If someone said to him, "Do you know what, Liam? You're not good enough for this club. The club can do better." I think that's fair enough. I've done my best. I think that's fantastic. And I think from day one, as a captain, we've always said about his passion, his commitment for this. He loves this club. You're not going to hear me, and I don't think you say a bad word about Liam King, because the results aren't good enough. Yes, but him, it's a learning curve for him. He's a blooming nice bloke as well. He is, and.
He's a very young lad as well.
Exactly.
It's easy
he's
to forget
learning the game.
How old he is.
How old is he?
31.
31.
He might have his 32nd
That's
birthday.
my age. He's the same as me. I didn't know that. You're feeling a bit old now, aren't you?
Yeah, the grey's coming out even
more.
Well,
I can't. I'm having a bad hair day, by the way, everybody. If you can see it, he's coming off tomorrow.
Yeah, I did ask you to tidy yourself up, ready for the game.
have.
Oh, okay. But no.
Back to Kingy. No, and he's
want to see him succeed.
That's it. We talk about this nearly every week, and we as the media, we want it, don't we? Yeah. I put my Gainsborough hat on as a fan. I want Liam King to succeed, and I think the majority of the fans did. You noticed at the end today, there was no boos.
No.
No, I thought there was. I was talking to Alfie up here. I said, aren't they going to boo at the end here?
Yeah.
No boos.
But we don't do that as a club. We don't.
Exactly,
do that.
And they'll back him. And if I hope he's in charge on Tuesday night. I really do. We don't know. Yeah. We don't know at this moment in time whether he will be or not. But as I said to you, if he goes, I don't think. I get the impression they're not going to sack him.
No.
Which is great. I think he has got the backing. I might be totally wrong. This is just stuff I've picked up on.
It's the feeling. Impression.
We get the feeling that he's got the backing. So if they're not going to get anybody else in before Tuesday, are they? So it's still the same player, still the same style, so if people don't believe in that, you might as well give them another game. But I just hope he's in charge on Tuesday night. And I just love that line about whatever's best for the club, and if it's not me, then he'll. I think that's fantastic. I think that sums him up as a person. And I don't know him that well personally, only what we've.
Exactly. How we interact with him on a game by game, match by match basis.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think, it's not in doubt his passion and enthusiasm for the club.
It's whether he's got the know-how, isn't it? Yeah. Whether he's got the skills.
And that brings me on to how he is. He cuts a forlorn figure within his technical area. He seems to be one on his own at the moment. A few people have pointed out to me that they seem to see him standing there. He's one cajoling the players. He's one trying to boost morale, push the players back a little bit further. But he seems to be very isolated at the moment. I had a really interesting chat with Ross Hannah before the game, and he said previously he's been finding it hard to get the balance between playing and the assistant manager role, trying to get the balance between the two. But now he's really got that balance of concentrating on what's going on, his role on the field. And we've seen that in the last couple of games where he's got a couple of goals, he's got 2 and 3 games, and he's had that where he's kind of released that weight off his shoulders a little bit. But you still need something in there for Liam to be able to bounce his ideas off.
You probably need someone with experience. Now, Ross Hannah has got lots of it, hasn't he? He's been around a long time. And it's no coincidence, in my opinion, that Gainsborough's better runs but when he was on the sideline with Kingy. That's nothing against Ross as a player, because like you say, I think he's got better this season. Yeah. We said once he finally got a goal, which was quite a lucky goal against Bamber.
Yeah.
I've not seen his goal at Basford, but he's got, and today really he should have had at least a couple. But you're right, Kingy's on his own. He's, like we've said, he's young. He's learning the game.
Yeah.
He needs help, and I think he'd admit that. He says he's got all the support he needs behind the scenes. I also believe that. But on an actual match day, you're right, he's on his own. And I think maybe the answer is to maybe, when Ash and Gav and you've got Myron Gibbons, and as Curtis Morrison all play up front, maybe get Ross back as an assistant manager.
Yeah,
that's when they were doing
Ross
better.
Did admit that he doesn't mind if it's him scoring the goals or somebody else.
Yeah.
If it's somebody else scoring the goals, brilliant. He can bring so much more in an assistant manager role. So it is difficult.
Is that the answer though? Maybe that it's something as simple as that can help change things.
The two bounce off each other really well.
Well, they do.
Got that really tight.
They had that great run at the end of last season, didn't they? Where they went from where we just presumed the season would peter out to nearly making the playoffs. And I don't think Ross played much at all, did he? And I know Liam didn't play at all.
No, he had the little bit parts here and there.
Yeah, and mainly he was on the... And also maybe using him as a substitute isn't a bad idea.
Yeah,
because he's there for most of the game. Exactly. And he can come in and then he can also bring ideas from the bench onto the pitch. He can
and disseminate those amongst the players.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's almost where we haven't had the sort of full-strength squad that we need. Yeah. We've got Ash coming back, Gav coming back. That's the options that we've got available now. But he might not be. And hopefully the two can work in tandem, work in partnership, and start to see the climb up the league.
I hope so. I don't like seeing managers leave. And
we also talked about Dom Roma, how he came from, managing at the start of your spell, commentating.
Yeah.
He started off as, I'm just managing, I'm not going to play. He got himself fit and threw himself in by about the Christmas time, didn't he?
It was January the...
Away at Telford, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, because
we saved a penalty that day.
Good old George. Because, what was his assistant's name?
Martin Foster
came out to do an interview, and I was like, what are you doing here? And it's because Dom was starting.
Yeah, so he wanted to get the prep done. But, that's the sort of thing. Dom would be the first to admit that he was never able to manage and play as he wanted to.
You notice these days there aren't many player managers around.
No, they're not a dying breed, that's probably the wrong.
No, but they're not around because, like you say, it's hard to focus on both. I mean, I found it hard doing it at six-a-side level. So, it's hard. It's difficult. Is Kingy trying to get himself fit to play again? I mean, I think they've missed his kind of player in midfield. Before he got injured last season, to me, he was the player of the season. Definitely. He was fantastic last season. Until he got injured about Christmas, was it? About December?
October time, I think it was.
Was it really that early?
I think...
And his engine, they haven't got that at the moment. They've got Simon Russell who runs around all over the place.
He was a Rolls Royce, isn't he?
Well, he's not quite as effective as, say, Liam King was. Or those two together, I think, would be really good. I don't know, and obviously Buxton on Tuesday night. I mean, their run at the moment 7-0, 0-7. So
Yeah,
what is going on with
I
that?
don't know what to make of that. We think our form's been up and down.
Oh.
Well, wouldn't want to be a Buxton
I
fan.
think it's bizarre that you've got the two sides that were battling for that last playoff place suddenly now playing second and third bottom. I think that's bizarre, absolutely bizarre, and it just shows what football can do.
Exactly. It's for highs, it's for lows.
And we're back with this again next Saturday, aren't we?
Yeah.
Are we doing one at Ashton?
Yeah, it could do.
I do love the fact that you lot keep asking us to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only a couple of people,
But
but it's a couple more than normal.
exactly. And
So-
it's very much appreciated.
Yeah, we enjoy it, don't we?
Well, we'll be back again soon.
Yeah. And hopefully things will
Hopefully it'll be
improve.
after a win.
Yeah, yeah. Bye.